You were physically shaken, using your hands to keep your mouth from prying open and screaming. You slowly startled, backing away, then ran out into the town. As it was turned into noon, it was getting much busier. As you walked backwards from the scene you just witnessed, you bumped into somebody. Ah, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, a voice replied, intently bowing. They must have thought you were high status, as your kimono you were wearing was designed from very expensive fabric. No, no, please, do not worry, you said. When you turned around, your heart dropped. It was a demon slayer, a low ranking, but a demon slayer nonetheless. You grabbed the girl slayer by the arm, dragging her to a quiet spot. Listen to me now. You're not safe here. I need you to leave now, you whispered. The girl looked confused. Then it kicked in. Oh my! Wait, you're Yin. You're Hashira. I am so sorry for bumping into you, she exclaimed, ignoring everything you just said. As you grabbed her by the shoulders to calm her down, she grabbed your wrist, your kimono sleeves unbeknowingly falling down your side. Yin-sama, your forearm. What happened? I must call a doctor, the girl said, quite frightened at the deep inscriptions not yet fully healed on both your forearms. A cold hand has strained a grip on your shoulder, making you freeze. Unfortunately, she struggles with self-harm. We were just on our way to go to her therapy. If you'll excuse us, an unpleasant voice said. Muzan had found you. You looked down in disgust, covering your arms again. How could he use such a sensitive topic that wasn't nearly true? No matter, for now the girl was your concern. Do not think perhaps there are bigger things to worry about. Muzan had just responded to your thoughts, though through your consciousness. You may leave now, Muzan told the girl, who scampered away. You felt his grip on your shoulders directly into the crowd. After walking around for a while, you couldn't stop worrying about the girl. Muzan had noticed this, but didn't seem to care less about that girl. It was starting to get late, and dusk was upon the horizon, painting the sky shades of pink, red, and yellow. As the sun was setting, you were walking with Muzan in silence. He suddenly froze, and you forced your attention on what he froze for. You stared ahead. No way. There's actually no way. It was Shinobu and Gyu, but why were they linking arms? You knew their friendship, which mostly contained of Shinobu teasing Gyu in more insensitive ways than others, and you had hoped they got together eventually, but for a reason you knew they were definitely up to something. It was obvious when Gyu whispered to Shinobu, abstractly pointing you out to her. You clearly saw the sharp elbow Gyu had taken to the side. You just hoped they didn't go near you, so that they didn't end up confronting Muzan. Ever since Muzan stared at the two a bit longer, he motioned for you to continue walking, so you assumed he had lost interest in the two. While walking, your mind kept slipping back to what they were doing previously, hoping that they wouldn't do something stupid. Flashback! The Hashira held a gathering together, now sitting in a circle. So, what flashy plan do we have in mind for this flamboyantly rescuing Yin? Tengen asked, folding his arms while provoking a confident smile. Uzui looks even stronger when he crosses his arms, Mitsuri thought as she studied his stance, clasping her hands together in satisfaction. Obanai turned his head down to look at Mitsuri. He was perched on a tree with a beautiful white snake coiled around his neck. Mitsuri, focus, was heard, suddenly snapping her out of her thoughts. It was Shinobu. She had a constant smile on her face, but the tension could be felt from miles away, clearly startling her anger towards Mitsuri's distraction. Poor Yin. May we please find an effective solution without any souls being mutilated, said Gome, tears flushing down his cheeks, his hands tightly pushed together to strengthen the value of his prayer. Oh, I think I have an idea, a very flashy idea, that though Shinobu and Giyu may think otherwise, Tengen said, putting a finger to his chin. In deep thought, Shinobu previously looked to Giyu. Ah, Tokia-san, it seems as if somebody is finally willing to incorporate you, Shinobu started, while making Mitsuri rush her hands to her face to hide her puffed cheeks, trying to subdue the laughter she was so badly wanting to escape. Giyu just raised his eyebrows, looking fed up with Shinobu's scar-tiff comments, but knowing he'll still have no endured them. Right, what is your idea, Uzui? Rengoku asked, chirping in, very excited that things are getting a move on. Well, since it's obvious to assure that Yin does not have her sword, we can secretly bring her one by using Shinobu and Giyu to hide their identities in public, Tengen said. The other Hashira raised a brow, confused at how the idea was going to work out. Uzui briefed them on the plan, making the Hashira get into complete silence. Tengen-san, I think perhaps your idea is a bit flawed, don't you think? Shinobu said, a passive smile resting on her face, her elbow ready to strike the love pillar at any second as her cheeks filled up with large bubble of laughter. No, you mustn't laugh. Shinobu will kill you with wisteria poison. If you all, for all you know. Well, perhaps, but it is truly a flashy way to endure your safety, as well as hers. Very flamboyant, Giyu frowned slightly, and gliding away from Shinobu, ready to turn around and bolt. He'd just come up with his own idea to save Yin. Suddenly, he was grabbed vigorously by the nape of his hori. He turned around, facing the certain insect pillar. The tension became visible by the veins on her forehead. Ah, Togia-san, I hope you weren't planning on making me do this by myself. Not that you are necessary in this mission, but the plan will fail without you, Shinobu said, making Giyu realize the mess he was in. So, be as flashy as you can, and don't make your hatred too obvious. You two must seem to be in love. If we want this to work, Tengen said, his flashy white teeth forming a big smile as the colorful painted nails formed into pointed fingers, stands in person of power. I'm sure they are capable of doing it for Yin's sake, but we need to get a sword to give her. Rengoku remembered his position, excurrent in stance, crossed arms, cape wildly blowing in the wind. Open Eye had slid down from the perch position and excused himself to Sunday Crow to the swordsmith village in order to have a sword be created for her.